Welcome back to the channel Spain Unlocked. It's me, Anna, with you here, and it's time for the latest news update of Spain. First of all, very important news update right now. As you can see, we have coastal phenomena. The wind is quite strong. It is unpleasant to be on the beach as it is because of the very cold wind. There are waves inside of the sea, and people are wearing jackets back again because it is quite chilly outside. This type of coastal phenomenon and a yellow alert in our region of Costa Blanca will be up until the mid of next week, Wednesday, Thursday, probably. That is when the weather will get back to normal slowly but surely, and we will stop having the rain. As for now, the weather forecast says that we will have rain from today up until Wednesday. And this is quite a lot for our region, which is why people are taking necessary precautions, because we know and we remember what happened in Valencian community months ago with giant, very serious floods. And we try to avoid all these things from happening back again as much as possible. So stay safe if you are here in the region this weekend and the beginning of the next week. In general, we have three news that we wanted to share with you all. First news is about the property purchase in our region, and in general, it could be applied to all different parts of Spain, both peninsula and the islands. When you want to purchase a property here in Spain, you basically have two options. One is to pay for the total amount of what property is worth at this moment and what is being asked for it from the seller's side. And the second option is if you have partially some sum of money and you want to ask for a mortgage. If you're still not a resident here in Spain and you want to have access to mortgage in Spain, you have options. We in our migration consulting help you out to reach to banks and see if there's a potential to get a mortgage, which kind of amount is the maximum they're able to give you and under which interest rate. So if you're interested in that, we are able to give you slightly more information. You can always contact us on our email, WhatsApp, or just check our official website and fill in the form questionnaire right out there and reach out to us. Basically, for non-residents here in Spain, you are able to apply for up to 70% of the value of the property as a mortgage. The remaining 30% obligatory you will need to provide, plus the extras that every single brand new property owner has to pay here in Spain. First of all, once you purchase a property, you will need to pay the 10% tax in the Valencian community for the property purchase. This percentage varies along Spain, and here we have a map of Spain and different percentage rates for this same tax. Here it's 10% in Valencian community. Apart from the tax, you will need to add extra around from 1 to 2% for different costs. First one is the notary cost, being paid the attorney, the signature of the purchase selling contract usually is the cost that a buyer needs to take care of, and it ranges from around 250 to 600 euros depending on the notary and the area where you are signing, the province and the region of Spain, plus the registration of the property, the change on the name from the previous owner onto your name. This also costs a little bit. So on average, the mortgage, the 30% that you're able to save up, plus around 12 to 13% on the taxes and the extra additional costs. If you are a resident here in Spain, then you're able to be eligible for up to 80% on the mortgage. And then you need to give 20% plus the other 10 taxes and between 1 or 2% on the extras. And if you don't need any kind of mortgage, you can purchase the property basically with your saved money. Still, you will need to pay these 12% for the taxes and the costs. So in general, you need to have at least 12% of the value of the property saved up so that you would be able to actually purchase it and pay all the costs incurred in this process. The commission of the agency is not paid by the buyer, it's paid by the sellers. That is a non-spoken rule inside of the real estate agencies. The second news that we wanted to share with you today is about the touristic apartments in Spain. As you all know, maybe you've heard about it, maybe you've not, but now you're about to. Spain is trying its best to reduce the illegal touristic apartments. And before it was a competition of government, the town halls were not really able to do much about this issue. Many people decided that it's not necessary to get a touristic license, even though it's obligatory by law. Whenever you rent your property for short term only, not applied for long-term rentals, that's important to know. If you rent out your property to tourists, you need to get a touristic license. Many people have not. Many people have not declared their income that they obtained from the touristic properties. Thus now, there is a big issue because many of these properties are located in the neighborhoods where previously people were living a whole year long, but now they're not able to because prices for rentals have gone up so much, and also because there is barely any property left for a long-term rental. Almost all of them are for short-term rent. This is case, for example, of Valencia, Benidorm, Alicante. All the coastal region suffers, Barcelona too suffers from these types of rentals. And Valencia, as well as other regions, Villajoyosa, Alicante, Benidorm, they've started to downsize the amount of properties that they have in touristic rent. There's an obligatory website where you will need to register starting from July. You can register now already. If you need some information, let us know here in the comment section. We'll let you know which one it is and send you the link. Basically, it's a website that shows that you have all the paperwork in order, that you have a license, and you're able to operate with this type of property. For now, it's non-mandatory up until July, summer, this year, 2025, but from that time onwards, it actually is. Valencia, as an example, is preparing fines from 10,000 euros up until 600,000 euros, more than 500,000, in case they see and spot an illegal touristic apartment for short-term rent that doesn't pay taxes and doesn't have a touristic license. So bear that in mind, just in case. Also now, touristic apartments, don't be fooled whenever you purchase one. Even if a touristic apartment in our region has a touristic license, it doesn't mean that you automatically receive it when you purchase the property. Why? Because before, touristic license was linked to the property itself. So it doesn't matter if you change the owner. You still have the same touristic license. Now it's not the case any longer. Now it's linked to the property owner. So once it's sold to someone else, you would need to go to the town hall. You would need to change it, pay another tax, and wait for it to be approved. Probably you will be because there was a touristic license before, but still you will need to do all this process. If not, you will not have a touristic license and you will not be able to operate. So be very careful when you purchase a property in our region for touristic purposes as an investment, since it's not automatically given to you after a purchase. Bear that in mind. If you have any doubts, feel free to contact us in our migration consulting and we will help you out. So Valencia, its goal is to decrease the amount of touristic properties to be able to have long-term rent in these neighborhoods and have only around 2% of touristic apartments in some specific neighborhoods. Not sure how they will achieve it because probably legal ones, it's already more than 2%. But we will see, I guess, where it will lead us. Let's continue with the final news, shall we? Alicante region received quite an unpleasant news these days. Another group of people treaty, those who exploit people, those who make women do specific jobs, sell their bodies for money, and provide different services. Another group was discovered in our region in Alicante, Orihuela, and Elche. The good news is that 48 people were arrested already because there was an anonymous information given to the police department, and there were some emails sent from someone probably who decided to help these women to the police. This report was the main cause of why these people were arrested. And all these women, the vast majority of them, did not have any paperwork whatsoever here in Spain. They were brought from outside countries, outside of the European Union, from East. Some of them were from Eastern countries, the vast majority from South America and Spanish-speaking countries from outside European Union. And their documents were taken away. They were said that something will happen to their family, to their kids outside, to brothers, sisters, people that they love, if they will not do this type of job. And also that they had a huge debt because these people, this group, has brought them here to Spain, and now they need to pay, let's say, 60,000 euros back to them by working this way in order to be set free and be able to start their lives here. So obviously, for a lot of these women, there is no other way of doing it than just accepting the offer with the fear for their life and the life of their loved ones. This is something that we would think, we are in such a modern, globalized world. How is this happening? But this is actually true. This is a real life. It looks like a third world when we hear cases like this. But the truth is that we do not see it. People who have a usual, regular life, who have their jobs, who have paperwork here, we do not see this. But it doesn't mean it's not happening. So if you know someone who wants to come here to Spain, please do it legally. Get your permits, get your visa, check out which kind of paperwork you need. Contact us if you need help on providing you private health insurance, searching for a household here, checking on the taxes, how to get a permit, the visa, prepare the documents, everything that you need. But please make sure that if you or someone who you know wants to arrive here and establish in Spain, do things the correct way, because then things like these will never, ever happen. And these people that got caught inside of these groups, basically years of their life, psychological stress, all of what they've expected it to be is now ruined. And they've suffered without being able to accomplish anything during their time here in Spain. This is what's going on. It's quite common in the region. There are places that look like hostels, hotels that use this type of people, sell them, basically sell their services. And they look like hostels on the outside, but inside it's actually like a bordel. It's like a place where you go to get these types of services. Luckily, more and more with the digitalized world, these people are getting caught. So hopefully soon it's not going to be their business any longer. Thank you for accompanying us in today's short news update. The wind is getting stronger, it's getting colder and colder here on the beach, and probably for the next days, we will have some heavy, heavy rain. If you are here in Spain, or you will be shortly, take necessary precautions, because at least here around Benidorm town, we are in yellow alert right now. We'll see you in a new video here on the channel, Spain Unlocked, with more useful information and more places to discover. Goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe.